Is there a point that this country can come to when armed resistance against Obama would be necessary? Of course there is. That point, that point of no return, as I would call it, would be when Obama or the idiot Congress, Democrat or Republican, call an end to elections, an end to elections for the President of the United States. That is a point of no return. That is the point when armed resistance is not only necessary, but is an obligation in order for folks to remain free. In other words, when Obama decides he wants to be a dictator and uses sometimes a guise like, well, we're in a world emergency and we need to suspend elections, that is the point when armed resistance is not only necessary, it is every free person's obligation to do everything they can to throw these people out of Congress that let it happen, to take back your government. There is a point. I don't care about these talking pundit idiots on your news media that feed you a line of bull crap. All this talk about seceding from the Union, there's no such thing as succeeding. You take your country back, and the way you take it back is armed resistance, or you do everything you can to go find a communist dictator and kill it. So there is a point. Don't listen to these silly folks that continue to tell you, oh, this is dangerous. No, what's dangerous is the idiot that says, I'm going to suspend free elections because of an emergency, or because I just think I can run the world better or run the United States better. That's when it ends. That's when law enforcement backs off. What is law enforcement going to do anyway to 150 million armed Americans? So there is a point when a call to arms would be necessary. People like Pat Buchanan, this guy's done nothing his whole life. He grew up running his mouth out of his mother's womb. Look, the people that fought for this country, folks like me, real people, farmers, workers, average folks make this country, not some stupid idiot movie star, Oprah Winfrey. These folks are fools. You're out of your mind if you believe that the rise in weapon sales is because people are afraid Obama's going to put more restriction on weapons. That's not the reason. Obama, if you're taking that message from the rise of arms cells that folks are just trying to get ahead of the ball game before you throw regulations, man, you're wrong. And your folks are not reading the people right. So there is going to come a time, or there could come a time, and that's called a suspension of elections. Now, there are a couple of idiot Democrats in Congress trying to introduce bills to do away with term limits for the president. That's not the time. That is not the time to say, okay, now it's time for armed resistance. No, that's not the time. In fact, that would bite people in the butt that want that. Like the Democrats, right now they think Obama's so fantastic that the whole world is going to keep him president for life. That won't happen. What will happen is somebody will get sick of him, or the U.S. will get sick of him, and they'll vote in a Republican. And now the Democrats got to live a Republican forever as long as the people love him. So that's not the point. Now that is a start, believe me. That is what their motivation is. Oh, let's keep a Democrat idiot fool in there forever. When elections, free elections, are suspended, that is the time that you take back your country. You don't succeed from nothing. You go find a dictator, a communist, and kill it. So there is a point. There is a point in time that armed resistance is necessary. It's called tyranny. You know, all this crap about freely elected leaders. You can't do that. Well, sure you can. Look at Hugo Chavez. He was a freely elected guy. Does that mean that the people there voted for him to be a dictator, a tyrant? No. So then you take back your country. Look, the fool law enforcement people will be smart enough to just sit back on their heels. They know. In fact, if they have any sense, they would join the people that are going to, freedom is going to win. Dictatorship is not going to work in this country. What can they do? Look, 7 gunmen put India, the entire country of India, on hold, at bay. What is it, 100-some million American men, women have weapons and know how to shoot them? Unlike Janet Napolitano, who I don't believe's ever fired a weapon in her life. It would surprise me if she did. So all you fool pundits and you talking idiots that continually bringing up that don't talk about an armed resistance, you're out of your mind. You're fools. And to tell me that I don't have the right to say that there's a point that to where I'm not going to take it anymore, you don't have that right to tell me that. Just like you don't have the right to tell me how much sugar to put in my coffee. Idiots. Though there is going to come a time, or hopefully not, hopefully folks see the light and this guy either changes his ways or vote him out of there. So it's kind of dangerous to listen to folks like Bill O'Reilly, Hannity, any of these talk show folks that are talking pundit creeps. None of those. I don't think any of them idiots have served in the service of this country to really, truly sacrifice for this country. These folks are on the wrong track when they say things like that. That's absolutely nuts to say that we can never talk about armed resistance against our government. Of course we can. And there is a point. Try to suspend free elections. Then you'll see. Then we'll see who truly will die for what they believe in. Because I hear a lot of talk. I hear a lot of talk from mainly, believe it or not, conservative type folks that never would even or serve in the military or put their life on the line. I hear a lot of running of the mouth of movie stars and fools that would never join the service or put their life on the line for this country. Are you crazy? You think I'm going to listen to you? No, I listen to me and my conscience. In fact, in my community, you could start organizing now. Neighborhood watches, etc., like that. Things like that. That's where you find like-minded folks, if the day comes that arms need to be taken up against some fool that thinks they're going to dictate the United States. This is for, by the people. This government is for and by and of the people. Not some idiot that wants to suspend elections. Not some narcissistic piece of garbage like Obama that thinks he's going to solve the world's problems or wants to become a dictator. So there will come a time for call to arms. You'll know when the time comes. And that will be suspensions or any suspensions of free elections for any reason. Or let me put it like this, it better be a good one, like an atomic explosion. Get your heads out of your butts, folks, and start thinking about what made this country great. Start thinking about what threw tyranny out of this country. Think about it. Prepare yourself in case it has to be done. Quit listening to Bill O'Reilly, for Christ's sake. He sells all them books because he promotes it 5 nights a week on his TV. God bless America.